Oh, okay. Hello, everyone, and assalamu alaikum, and welcome. My name is Bushra Rehman, and once again, it's an honor to welcome our audience and everybody who will be, looking at this recording for the next few weeks on our pages or whatever pages that we have on our partners. We are here with our episode number 2 of the series that we started about a couple of months ago, in the series where we are celebrating amazing women in North America, amazing Pakistani women's stories in North America. And we want to get to know, sorry, I have a bit of a cough, so you guys have to put up with that. So we want to know how they started their journey, how the idea came about, what were some of the, threats and opportunities that they had coming their way, और वो क्या advice दे सकती हैं. ये इंग्लिश उर्दू में मिक्स होगा. आपको कोई भी questions हैं आप हमें कर सकते हैं. We have amazing team sitting in the background, and they will be forwarding me all these questions. You can go live on the chat. You can ask any of these lovely ladies questions. We also have our Council Journal Jawasab online as well, but I'll do the intros in a minute. So again, my name is Bushra Rehman. I am president for Pakistan Western Canada Trade Association, and I am also CEO and president for BR Group of Companies. I named it after myself. A lot of people ask me why, and I'm very honored once again to be the moderator tonight. In a night in Pakistan and a lovely morning here in Vancouver. Let's get to that. The agenda and objectives I kind of quickly went over, but we are basically, in a nutshell, our mission, our association mission, has always been to boost export from Pakistan. And in order to do that, we have started it as one of our thing in a peripheral project that we started about a couple of months ago, but we've kind of taken it on as one of our main projects, where we bring in amazing and celebrated Pakistani women, and we bring them on board, and we discuss with them their journeys. And we want our audiences to take whatever piece of information they can take from their interviews, and ask us whatever they want, and we will connect them to all these resources. So without a further ado, it is my sheer honor to welcome our first guest. It'll be Ms. Shameela Ismail. She's CEO of GharPar. Shameela, if we can have you on the screen. So until she comes, I'll tell you a little bit about Shameela. Shameela Ismail is the visionary CEO of GharPar, a pioneering platform that has rethought and reconstructed the beauty and wellness industry in Pakistan. So, welcome, Shameela. How are you?
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to
Yes.
be able to connect with so many people and to be able to share my story and my journey with everyone.
So, Shameela, आप अपना introduction कराइए, English, Urdu, anything, and just tell us who you are, who Shameela is, and what is it that she does right now.
So I'm Shameela Ismail, and my journey started. I'll go back to when I was a child, actually. So in Pakistan, there's a lot of philanthropy. लोग बहुत charity करते हैं सब कुछ, और जिसकी वजह से होता क्या है कि हम अपने लोगों को भिखारी बना रहे हैं. So क्योंकि वो the entire year they have planned out कि कहाँ से उनको क्या क्या पैसे आएंगे और उन्हें अपनी किस तरह खर्चा करना है. So I was like really against that, and I wanted to bring a change in the society, wanted to give back to the society, but in a different way. So uske andar I thought, why don't we do something, impart a skill set, rather than giving a fish to eat, we teach them how to fish. Yeah, so we started working on that, and we saw a niche in the market. कि देयर वाज एन इनफॉर्मल ब्यूटी सर्विसेज जो होती थी, और उसको हमने कहा कि ओके लेट्स फॉर्मलाइज दिस, बट लेट्स फॉर्मलाइज दिस इन अ वे कि हम पहले इन खवातीन को सिखाएंगे, बिकॉज द वुमेन हु वर्क ऑन आवर प्लेटफॉर्म आर फ्रॉम मार्जिनलाइज कम्युनिटीज. ठीक है, सो वेरी लो इनकम बैकग्राउंड्स. We said we'll teach them how to do, we'll impart a skill set with them, and not only hard skill set of beauty related, but soft skill set as well, like hygiene, communication, um, financial literacy, tech literacy, and all these things, and then give them an opportunity to become micro entrepreneurs, by connecting them or bringing them on our platform and connecting them to clients who want beauty services at home. So started off with an idea and we thought, okay, oh, this is a revolutionary idea. Or once we start, because we're promising so much to these women, the amount of income that they can make, that they're going to come running to our platform. But unfortunately, nothing of that sort happened. So there was a lot of hurdles that we faced. क्योंकि ये खवातीन तो आना चाहती थीं, they wanted to work, but however होता ये था कि इनकी जो families थी, especially the male members of the family. Now you have to keep this in mind when we're talking about Pakistan, जहाँ पे it's still a very very male dominated society. तो यहाँ पे उनके जो थे their husbands or their fathers, husbands more, they did not want the wives to be financially independent because there was this thing कि जी हमारे काबू से बाहर हो जाएगी हमारी बीवी. So they said कि let's, so they would keep stopping them. So we had to pivot our model and we started pitching the entire idea to the male member. तो हम एज अ फैमिली दोनों को बैठाते थे, उनको पिच करते थे कि जी इट्स अ फैमिली बिजनेस दैट यू विल बी डूइंग. आपकी जो बीवी है वो लोग घरों में जाके सर्विस कर रही होगी, हाउ एवर यू विल बी इन कंट्रोल बिकॉज यू विल बी टेकिंग हर टू ऑल दी सर्विसेज. सो दे फेल्ट कि हाँ हम अभी भी ना इन कंट्रोल हैं, तो कोई हमें कुछ नहीं ऐसा. और फिर हम बीवियों को समझाते थे कि द मनी दैट यू विल बी स्पेंडिंग ऑन उबर और टेकिंग टैक्सीज और एनीथिंग, सो यू कैन गिव दैट अमाउंट टू योर हस्बैंड. So he feels that, oh, she needs me. So that's how it started. We started with only 8 girls, and today we have 1,000+ technicians on our platform. Mashallah.
This is amazing. While you were talking about it, I was writing all these questions that were coming in my mind, and just a few that I definitely want to ask. Iska platform kya hai for your clientele, for the end user? Is it an app?
Yes, so we have an app. It's
Okay.
just like an Uber app.
Okay.
So the clients can download. However, the clients who want to use our service, they have to become a member of the platform because of security reasons.
Okay.
And once they are member, they can they can book an appointment, choose the date, time, and the service that they want, and our technicians, they reach there with the entire toolkit. And the only thing that the client has to provide with is कहाँ पे सर्विस होनी है और पानी कहाँ से लेना है. That's it.
ठीक है. और ये अभी आप सिर्फ कराची में कर रहे हैं? और
नहीं जी, हम we are in Punjab. We are in 6 cities in Punjab.
Great.
Lahore, Islamabad, Pindi, Faisalabad, Gujranwala, and Sialkot.
Which services बताएंगी? Give me 3-4 your major services that are provided.
Our most demanded services is waxing, because in Pakistan waxing was always done at home. So waxing is still the most demanded service. Uske baad it's body massages, and when the season is high, जैसे शादी season होता है, तो hair और makeup.
सही है. तो ये जो टेक्नीशियंस आप ट्रेन करती है, जिनको वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग देती हैं, उनका वो किस प्लेटफॉर्म से दे रहे हैं? वो कहाँ पे जाती हैं ट्रेनिंग के लिए?
So we have sorry, we have vocational schools of our own. जो हम ट्रस्ट, जी हमने वो ट्रस्ट एक बनाया हुआ है, तो वहाँ पे उन सारी खवातीन को फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट ट्रेनिंग मिलती है.
Okay.
And once it's a 3-month training program that they have to go through, and once they clear that, they have to clear another test to be able to be on the platform. And जिसके अंदर फिर उनकी ट्रायल्स होते हैं, उनके फील्ड ट्रायल्स वगैरह, and हमारी कौन सी पूल ऑफ क्लाइंट्स होते हैं वो उनको रेट करती हैं. And when they reach a certain rating, then they become active on the platform.
Very nice. So Shameela, इसका I do see कि ये कितना revolutionizing है, और किस तरीके से इसको एक तरीके से it's revival किया गया आपने उन सर्विसेज को जो I think 20-30 years पहले होती थी, तो उसको किस तरीके से मॉडर्नाइज करके ला रहे हैं. तो ये जो वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग वाला इसका सेगमेंट है, इसके लिए आपको गवर्नमेंट के किसी भी इदारे से फंडिंग भी मिलती है?
नहीं. So we've been bootstrapping.
Okay.
तो किसी भी किस्म की हम लोग ने अभी तक फंडिंग नहीं ली इसके ऊपर.
Is there a reason कि अभी आपने इनको टैप नहीं किया उस तरफ, या you just want to stay very independent, very non-partisan?
So we wanted to actually establish ourselves first before going and asking for funding and all. So now that we have proof of concept and we know that it's a model that is working very well in Pakistan, so now we're going towards that route.
So I'm just gonna ask you one question before we take in Aneela and introduce Aneela, and then हम back and forth करेंगे. ये बताएं कि अब थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन है क्योंकि नंबर बेस्ड क्वेश्चन है. आप इंफॉर्मेशन एक उसकी रेंज में भी दे सकती हैं. यू डोंट हैव टू गो एग्जैक्ट कि इन द लास्ट ईयर आपको लगता है कि based on the customers that you have been able to service and based on the women that you were able to empower and the women that you were able to employ, आपने पाकिस्तान की जीडीपी में कितनी एडिशन की होगी और इन नेट इसका क्या एक वो रहा होगा. क्योंकि जीडीपी की जो एडिशन होती है इट्स नॉट जस्ट कि टोटल रेवेन्यू क्या था बट इट्स इसके इसका किसी भी इकोनॉमी में क्या रिपल इफेक्ट हुआ होगा. क्योंकि एक घर में अगर 10,000 रुपया जा रहा है 20,000 रुपया जा रहा है तो उसका रिपल इफेक्ट है कि वो आगे और एक्स्ट्रा ग्रोसरी कर रहे हैं या उनके पास रेजिडुअल इनकम आ गई है और वो अब इकोनॉमी में दोबारा डाल रहे हैं और वो फिर आगे एक्स्ट्रा एम्प्लॉइज रख रहे हैं तो उसका रिपल इफेक्ट होता है. तो इतनी डिटेल्स में ना जाएं लेकिन आप ये ओवरऑल बताएं कि इसका न्यूमेरिकली बता दें या इसको थियोरेटिकली बता दें कि क्या इसका पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट पाकिस्तान की इकोनॉमी में रहा होगा.
So numerically, तो I don't have the numbers कि कितना क्या हुआ होगा. But however, we are aware of the fact कि because of these women, they belonged to a very low income background. So we've been able to pull them, not only them, but their families out of poverty level. So वो उस level से ऊपर आ गई हुई हैं. And जिसकी वजह से now they have they spend more, so the economy around them has started thriving as well, exactly what you were asking, and they have been able to send their kids to better schools.
That's
Yeah,
true.
and this is the most important thing for us,
Yeah. ये
the
मैं
educating the
ये
next
आपने
generation.
ये बहुत सही बात की कि बहुत से ऐसे लोग हैं वो मुझे कहते हैं कि आप एजुकेशन पे बच्चों के एजुकेशन पे फोकस करें. तो मैं कहती हूँ नहीं, वो नेक्स्ट स्टेप है. पहला आपने उनके पेरेंट्स को रोजगार देना है. जिसके
बिल्कुल,
घर में रात का खाना नहीं है वो बच्चे को स्कूल नहीं भेजेगा. तो ये बहुत
exactly.
इंपॉर्टेंट. तो बिल्कुल आपका बहुत अच्छा जवाब था एंड यू आर एब्सोल्युटली राइट. सो लेट्स टेक अनीला ज़ैब. थैंक यू सो मच. We'll stay right here. We have lots of
Yes,
questions
yes.
for you and we have audience that's very intrigued to know so much more. So for Ms. Aneela Zaib, she's CEO of emergiTEL. We'll explore access to finance and resources with Aneela. And Aneela, what strategies and resources do you recommend for women entrepreneurs seeking access? पहले तो आप, sorry, I'll just step back a little bit with my notes. अपना introduction कराएं. Who is Aneela and how is she in tech and how has she been so amazing over the years and how has she established and accomplished this much?
Thank you so much, Bushra. It's a great channel. Thank you for inviting me here. So my name is Aneela Zaib, and I am an engineer by my education. I went to University of Engineering and Technology in Pakistan, Lahore, and then I came to Canada as a student for my master's in engineering. So very much focused on studies since very beginning. Um, came from a very humble family. And when we came to Canada, we just basically had one goal to equip ourselves with the best possible education. And we didn't have any other idea of forming a company or anything. But having worked here and all the challenges that a immigrant go through and not knowing anybody here, it's a completely different environment from weather to no network around friends. And we left Canada at the age of, I think, 24. So it was quite challenging. And I formed emergiTEL in 2006 as a staffing supplier. And the main thing at that point in my mind was that I just didn't get my head wrapped around the fact that when a recruiter qualifies a candidate, they're not equipped. They lack technical knowledge to ask technical questions. If you're asking a cybersecurity specialist or a Java developer how good you are, but you don't know what questions to ask them and how would you gauge. That was something my engineering mind didn't understand. So I said, you know what, we have to redefine this methodology of screening candidates. And I introduced three dimensions into it. I included subject matter experts who would qualify candidates along with recruiters, which was an extra step. Nobody is doing it, and people at that time were not very big fan of how much effort they have to put into this. But anyways, I did implement this model, and this especially helped our newcomers and immigrant in Canada, because first question they were asked was, what Canadian experience you have? And how can they have a Canadian experience when they don't start working in the field? But to work in the field, they needed to be, presented in front of client and customer. And for that, somebody needed to take the best out of them, understand how good they are without the reference to their job description or job what they were doing back home. So,
Absolutely.
anyways, this was really helpful. I saved a lot of immigrants who were just ready to pack bags and go back home because they couldn't find jobs here. But I positioned them in front of clients saying, here is the technical testing I did on them. Here is their soft skill testing. And you judge them without any bias of Canadian experience. So that's something I think I'm very proud of, in addition to, whatever else the business is doing here. And now emergiTEL is an established company in Canada, and I continue to do this with my passion. This is my passion, to help and give opportunity to those who otherwise won't have it.
I love the story, and ये मुझे बहुत personally भी hit की है क्योंकि my I came here as a child with my family, and my father came here as under the sponsorship, and he's an engineer from UET, and obviously he's a lot older now, so he did his engineering. He went to GC school. So जब वो आए तो उन्होंने और सारी जिंदगी उन्होंने telecom में काम किया. तो जब आए तो he couldn't find a job in
Yeah,
because they want Canadian experiences, and he had his engineering, he had his masters.
yeah.
So now I wish कि there was a platform like yours. I'm so sorry about my cough.
It's okay, no worries. I feel bad for you.
मैं सोच रही हूँ मैंने ये moderation के लिए हाँ क्यों um so खैर जब वो आए तो we didn't have a platform. Now I wish that we did, and I cannot imagine the goodwill you've created, the people that you've helped, and the positive effect that it has caused not only for Canadian market but for students who or families and the young graduates who come from Pakistan and other countries, and they're able to get established not only in Canada but also send money to Pakistan. मैं कहीं ना कहीं से वो एंगल निकाल लेती हूँ कि इसमें पाकिस्तान का क्या फायदा हो रहा है
नहीं बिल्कुल, this is true, this is true.
तो आप थोड़ा बताएं आपके इस वक्त अच्छा एक जो सवाल जब आप बता रही थी जो मैंने मेरे जहन में आया, टेक हैज मोस्टली गॉन फ्रीलांसिंग की तरफ मोस्टली, तो आर कंपनी स्टिल लुकिंग फॉर फुल टाइम एम्प्लॉइज या इस तरीके से, या आपका ये फ्यूचर में do you see that this as a threat, or do you see कि इसको आप किस तरीके से improvise करेंगी जब अगर mostly companies will go freelancing in in Asia or Vietnam or जहाँ भी.
Yeah, so there's two things here. One is freelancing and one is offshoring.
Okay,
So which one are you referring to?
both, tell me both.
Okay. So in Canada, basically, there are two ways someone can get a job. One is a full-time employment, which
Yeah.
is working for a company, you're on their payroll, they hire you and all that. The other way is that most enterprise organizations feel that sometimes they don't need full-time employees. They need some subject matter expert to come in for 6 months or a year or for 2-3 years and help them do that job, that subject matter job there. And then they like to have the opportunity that this relationship is not an employee employer, but it's an independent contractor relationship. So that's like more the answer of freelancing. And in Canada, it's very popular way of working that you work as independent consultant. Even though you're independent consultant, you still go full time, like 9 to 5 at an organization, and the payment or billing is a bit different than full time employee. So that is a very popular method, and especially in tech industry where you need different type of subject matter experts. So you need these independent contractors coming and going all the time. So hence the use of companies like emergiTEL, which basically onboards them, offboards them for our clients, and take the responsibility of the orientations and everything, and sourcing them and screening them. So that can happen anywhere, onshore and offshore.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, do you take some sort of a consultancy fee from those potential employees or people that you do find jobs for?
No,
You don't. Okay.
no, it is actually not recommended, or it's some provinces it's not even legal to charge
Oh,
the person that you are providing the opportunity or job to. Yes,
you
your
take it
how
from
you get
everywhere.
money is from the clients, because
Okay.
clients pay you to do all the legwork, go in the market, screen the candidate, do the background check, and then present that candidate to them. So candidate बेचारा तो खुद ही job ढूंढ रहा है, उससे तो आप क्या उसको लोगे उससे.
और ये आप ऑफशोर उनको भी मैच करके देते हैं?
Offshore may could do if the client is interested in that model. So that's where emergiTEL is going in the future. Is we are thinking of this as a talent without boundaries. So an approach where we can secure global talent for our clients who are interested. Some of them are not interested because because of the security or their system access and anything. But jahan par bhi mumkin hota hai, we source global talent for them as well. And Pakistan, definitely, I have my offshoring actually back end team located in Pakistan, or they do help me with even recruitment and screening, and as well as if I have any client interested, I can place those resources with them.
दिस इज अमेजिंग। अच्छा अनिला, जो मैं आपका पढ़ रही हूँ इस वक्त, उसमें ये लिखा है कि आप एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को फाइनेंस की भी सपोर्ट प्रोवाइड करती हैं। सॉरी, जो विमेन एंटरप्रेन्योर्स हैं वो सीकिंग फाइनेंस फ्रॉम द मार्केट। सो टेल मी अ लिटिल बिट अबाउट दैट।
It's more of a mentorship approach that I take, because I feel like when I started this, I was simple and technical engineer, no knowledge of business and finance at the time when I was setting up the company, and it is also a bootstrap company. So for me, the type of silly questions I had in mind, and I felt like I was scared to ask them, or there was no source available, and I just learned along the way. And most of the time, it's the fear that what would happen if something goes wrong and I'll lose my money. So I do mentoring to women, and for anybody who's starting a business, to say, you have to start somewhere, take small steps, baby steps. The most important thing is the idea in your mind, where nobody has. What's the value of that idea? Focus on that, and maybe start small, do a lot of networking. And I try to give that sort of a initial boost to them, so they feel good that, what, yes, this is something is doable, as opposed to sitting on it for years and saying, I don't think we can do it. So that's initial spark is something that I try, because I've been through it. And it's open to anybody. That's why one of this platform is that I come and talk about it, so anybody can connect with me, and I can help them out if I can.
This is so wonderful, and this is exactly the reason why we hold these talks, क्योंकि हमारे लिए आप और शमीला जैसे जो celebrated women हैं वो resources हैं, assets हैं. So we want to share them with the so many women, and mostly this is a women centric, कि हम उनको चाहते हैं कि वो हमसे connect हों और questions पूछें, तो आप जैसे लोगों से उनको connect कर सकें और आप उनको mentorship या resources provide कर सकें। एक simple answer दे देना किसी बात का भी, I think के, और दिल के साथ देना किसी को एडवाइस भी एक बहुत बड़ी हेल्प होती है। और अगर कोई बंदा के पास आखिरी $2000 है, वो कहीं इन्वेस्ट करने जा रहा है और गलत इन्वेस्ट करने जा रहा है, और आप उसको कह सकते हैं कि नहीं यहाँ कर लो या इस तरफ कर लो, तो आई थिंक ये भी एक उसकी लाइफ की शायद सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट एडवाइस होगी जो उसको मिल सकती है। सो
जी।
दैट्स व्हाई दीज टॉक्स आर सो इम्पोर्टेंट। अब मेरे एक सवाल है, सेम सवाल है आप दोनों से। सो आई आस्क शमीला फर्स्ट। शमीला, आप वी जस्ट वांट टू नो your field, how for what differences has it made in your line of work?
Bushra, you were cutting off a bit. Can you repeat?
Um, Sorry, you guys are mute. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
I can't hear anybody. Just one second.
Yeah,
Hello?
yeah, we can hear you.
There was a call coming and I disconnected it, and then
We can hear you.
Can you hear us now?
just give me 1 second, please.
No worries. Shameela, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Very inspiring what you do. And
Thank
helping so many people. It's like, and especially sitting there in Canada, because यहाँ पे बैठ के in Pakistan we still have our own network and all, as you said. But when they move to another place,
Yeah,
it's um, it's
of
very
course.
difficult.
And likewise, a
I'm
great.
here.
That's okay, Bushra. I think there's a question that you asked. We couldn't hear it. Can you repeat it?
Yes.
आप फिर mute हो गए, Bushra.
Yeah, I can't hear you, Bushra.
आप क्वेश्चन चैट में लिख दो, विल आंसर. So, one of the question that I just got on the audience, maybe I'll try to answer that. Somebody asked, what are the tech sectors that area of focus in Canada for tech experts? So, I'll just go. I don't know exactly, but I can try and narrow it down. Cybersecurity is very much in these days because as the technology advances, there are more hacking attempts. Everybody is trying to make their network secure. Data is the new gold. So that's one of the area. Especially data science is the foundation of AI. So large language models and anything to do with AI from the technology perspective. So if you want to start your career in AI, maybe just look into data science type of things and build your way up because that's the foundation of it. And I think any technology is booming. So networking is also going to the next level. Cybersecurity, as I said, these are some of the current hot areas, but it continues to change.
Okay. I hope you can hear me now.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So, Shamila, my question was, I'm just gonna do a little bit different from obviously उनकी tech की वो है तो आपसे पूछूंगी कि just the use of innovation technology, how has it enhanced your customer base and how has it enhanced your experience as the business entrepreneur and the owner and the end experience of your clients?
So, Bushra, when we started GharPar, the clients in Pakistan were not very comfortable using tech. So, हम लोगों ने शुरू में हम we the founders, we are three founders और हम में से कोई भी techie नहीं है. So we wanted to enable tech in this because when the more we read about it, we knew that tech will actually open doors for us, and because it has no boundaries, we can actually tap into a bigger target audience this way rather than a brick and mortar salon or something. तो उससे हुआ क्या कि when we started this, we started um, advertising on social media. That's the only route that we took. So we started advertising on social media, and we attached Google Forms to our website. So once we started getting, people wanted to talk on the phone कि जी नहीं phone पे बात करें और फिर हम वहाँ पे order place कर देते हैं हमने forms के through नहीं करना and this and that. So it was very difficult for us to change the
Change.
behavior of the clients
Yeah.
कि जी आप उसके ऊपर करें and it will be processed. So that we would keep saying कि जी it's all हमारे पास पूरा सिस्टम है वो टेक बेस्ड है और हम इसको मैनुअली प्रोसेस नहीं कर सकते you will have to do that. तो आहिस्ता आहिस्ता we changed the behavior of our consumer. So later on we once we had all the processes in place and we knew how exactly we wanted our tech to be, so we onboarded a CTO and he with his team we built the entire tech. So now our life is very easy. If we ever tell our clients that we will call you, so they're like, oh, no, please, we don't
Just
want
text.
to hear anyone. But it was a very difficult journey for us, but
I'm
it
sure.
really helped us in tapping into the market that we didn't even realize how easy it would be. Like segmenting the market, and not only in Lahore, and then when we started expanding into other cities, हम physically तो वहाँ पे है ही नहीं, because we have teams over there and everything is being processed from Lahore, all the appointments and everything, and it has opened so many avenues for us. And आपकी capex आपकी इतनी ज़्यादा नहीं होती और सारा कुछ, तो it really, well, I think it's, if whatever business anybody has in mind, if it's just like जो हमारी रूटीन की businesses होती हैं या basic businesses होती हैं, if you add the tech element to it, ठीक है ना, to enable that business to grow, so it will really help you open so many doors and avenues, and you'll find other ways to pivot as well. So like recently we added e-commerce to our platform कि हम services तो दे रहे हैं, उसके साथ साथ the products that you use in our services, you can buy those through our e-commerce platform as well.
That's
So the sky is the limit actually.
no, this is great news. बहुत अच्छा लगा ये सुन के और you're right कि हम कहाँ अगर हमारे सिर्फ एरिया को लोग पहले किया करते थे कि दैट्स व्हाई रिटेल इज सो आउट ऑफ फैशन कि रिटेल जस्ट टारगेट्स उस एरिया के लोग but once you go on social media then the आपके वो demographics is it's a lot bigger piece of pie that you're trying to target so आप आपके लिए एक सवाल भी आया है और फातिमा ये पूछना चाह रही हैं कि जो आपकी जो द लेडीज दैट यू ट्रेन जो आपके एम्प्लॉयज हैं इन अ वे और जो आप जिनको फ्रीलांस करते हैं या आई वुड से कॉन्ट्रैक्टेड हैं क्या उनको कोई ट्रेन वो सर्टिफाइड होना जरूरी है
So if they have any prior knowledge, they have to clear a test to be able to come on the platform and to be able to perform services on clients. क्योंकि हम इसी तरफ किसी को उठा के नहीं ला सकते. There's a quality that we have to maintain. And then we have to train them on how to use our tech और हमारे protocols क्या हैं and all these because you see over here in a salon it's very easy if something goes wrong for the owner to jump in and now these women when they go to clients house they're very vulnerable कि वहाँ पे they're out of their comfort zone किसी के घर जाके how to behave over there so that they feel comfortable and the client feels comfortable as well कि जी there's a stranger in my house so these are the things that we really have to impart and teach these women apart from skill set उनके पास पहले भी हो सकता है किसी वोकेशनल स्कूल से उन्होंने लिया होगा मगर उसको हम अपने स्टैंडर्ड के ऊपर लाने के लिए तो फिर हमारा एक क्रैश कोर्स उनके साथ होता है and then once they clear the test because that one test to be able to be active on the platform is very very important for us.
दैट्स वंडरफुल एक आपके लिए एक और क्वेश्चन है शमीला बिफोर आई मूव ऑन टू अनीला कि इस मॉडल को घर पर जैसे मॉडल को नॉर्थ अमेरिकन मार्केट में किस तरीके से लाया जा सकता है
So we are currently exploring all these markets, and we are in talks with a few people because we want to bring this model in not only North America but different parts of the globe as well. Like currently, I'm sitting in Saudi Arabia exploring this market, so it has a lot of potential. And if somebody wants to join hands with me, please feel free to contact me.
Our association, this is exactly what we do. We bridge connections and we bridge these synergies. So you ladies are now, a part of us, and then we would love to, take this forward. And Aneela, so thank you, Shamila. I'll get back to you on more questions. So Aneela, आप ये बताएं कि अब I'm gonna ask you the same question, but opposite. आपके मॉडल को पाकिस्तान में किस तरीके से लेके जाया जा सकता है?
Good question. Very good question. And I think Mera model jo hai simply it is for the sake of clarity, it's called three-dimensional screening. It starts from getting to know the job that you are looking for as a recruiter candidates, doing a deep down research on the job, establish the type of questions that you are asking candidates, establishing the type of technical testing you're conducting on the candidate, and the other side is knowing knowing the client's culture, knowing what is a good fit for a client, because the skill set can be the same but it might be successful in one client because of the culture or might not be successful. So if somebody is able to do all of this and replicate this model to any domain, any sector, any industry, for example, for finance, you need to know the nuances of finance, the certifications required there, and how to test for those certifications. Because the biggest challenge we have is that the resume is not a true reflection of the candidate in sometimes, and we have to, before we present it to client, we have to make sure that this candidate is the reflection of their resumes. That's in a nutshell is the main idea. So yes, you're right, it can be applied anywhere. It's no secret, but what it takes is to make it sustainable and provide the same quality of service to all the clients. I was an engineer, in a way it was not very difficult for me, but most sales driven organizations, they just don't put a lot of effort into this. Just say, resume looks good, 5-10 minutes, you forward it off. But that doesn't do the justice to the job. So that's why if somebody is able to do all of that, they can apply this model. In fact, we are, as I said, going global. So we are connecting a lot of boundaries from Pakistan to North America or North America to Pakistan, opening up markets for them. So it's pretty much doable.
Okay, this is very heartening to hear. I just want to ask if we have our Council General Saab on this call, and we can take a statement or two from him. If he is, can we have you on board, Jabba Saab? Perfect.
Ji, Assalamu alaikum, ladies. What a pleasure and honor. Before I start, Ji, the International Women's Day is across 2 days from now, and it is such an honor for me to be in presence of such great entrepreneurs and the leading ladies of Pakistan. In my humble opinion, women are the actual essence and the core which runs any country or any nation. And if we do not identify it, if we do not utilize it, if we do not put them to the right perspective, it's a great loss for any country. With these notes, I would like to compliment Bushra and Pakistan Western Canada Trade Association to carry out this vision which we share regarding women entrepreneurs of Pakistan. And it's my honor to be in the presence of such great ladies who are in Canada representing Pakistan, who are in Pakistan, who are innovating and giving chances to our that segment और वो तबके को वो एक मौका दे रही हैं to become useful part of the Pakistan's economy, Pakistan's blood, Pakistan's pride and honor. Once again, a very happy Women's Day, and it's an honor to be here.
बहुत शुक्रिया जंबा साहब. आपसे एक सवाल कर लेते हैं कि for someone like let's say Shameela और even अनीला चले ऑलरेडी यहाँ पे हैं, कोई ऐसी women entrepreneur जो इस वक्त पाकिस्तान में है और एक अच्छा बिजनेस का मॉडल चला रहे हैं और वो अब कनाडा की मार्केट में टैप करना चाहते हैं, तो क्या मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ फॉरेन ऑफिस मोफा की तरफ से या आपके ऑफिस की तरफ से उनको कोई सपोर्ट मिल सकती है, नॉट फाइनेंशियल बट इन टर्म्स ऑफ के उनको रिसोर्सेज से कनेक्ट करना या डेटा कोई प्रोवाइड करना, कुछ ऐसा है?
Ji, we are there. It's our primary job as the representation of the state of Pakistan in Canada. These ladies, if they can help me or guide me or advise me how to identify me, the ladies who need this help, it will be my honor. And as you know, Bushra, we are already in touch with the Small Medium Enterprises Financial Forum of the International Financial Corporation of the World Bank, who are focusing on SMEs in Pakistan.
Yes.
So not only the consulate will synergize with the government of Pakistan, but the consulate can even synergize between the World Bank as well. So for us, it's we are there to serve not only Pakistan and Pakistani, but the great women of Pakistan as well.
This is very good point, Jabba Sahab, and I would like जो भी ये platform में सुन रहा है, including our guest, कि PWCTA हमारी एसोसिएशन की पार्टनरशिप है विद, जैसे जबा साहब ने कहा, स्मॉल मीडियम एंटरप्राइजेस की जो फाइनेंशियल विंग है वर्ल्ड बैंक, एंड इंशाल्लाह सून विद देयर हेल्प इन देयर पार्टनरशिप वी विल बी एबल टू synergize these connections, and we will be able to mediate and hopefully be the processing body for these pools of financing that are available to the women-owned enterprises, to tap into these financial resource and invest in their businesses. So that is something that is in the pipeline and that is coming. So अगर Aneela and Shameela आपके भी कोई ऐसी हो आपके clients currently जो इसको tap करना चाहें, so we can again form these synergies all across the board. हमें अभी बाहर जाने की भी जरूरत नहीं है. Within this room, within these 4 blocks, we have so much resources and we have so much that we can connect on. My mind is mind-boggling right now. The potential that I can see that we can formulate here. So
one thing, Bushra, sorry to cut in. Both the ladies, I would request you, and Bushra, I would request you as the president of PWCTA, that on your website, give them a tab, because lots of people are hitting your website here to get information regarding how to invest in Pakistan, how to engage with small, medium enterprises, especially engaging with people who are helping elevate poverty in Pakistan, and on the other hand, people who are more than happy and more than willing to be guided as to how to use their technical skills, how to amalgamate, how to with the Canadian system here. So if these two ladies permit, I would strongly suggest that you open up a tab on your website indicating their businesses in Canada and in Pakistan, and by default, the consulate will be doing the same thing. So, our information director Mir Saab always says digital footprint is very important. And our another director, I wish she were also here. She's on the backstage, I believe, is Miss Rabia, the director who deals with the apparel and leather and everything from Pakistan to Canada and Canada to Pakistan, has always told me that the biggest problem which Pakistani business has in North America is that they need to learn how to talk the business jargon which is required here in Canada to build up that economic bridge of export and import, not only of stereotype things, but latest like fintech, like technologies, like even technicians which are being trained in Pakistan can have an option or have a view into the Northern American markets. Thank you.
बहुत शुक्रिया जवाब साहब. And as always, we're very grateful to have you as our back end, as a resource, as our fallback cushion. For those who don't know, Jamba Sahab is actually Council General for Western Canada for Pakistan, and he's also हमारी जो association है उसके patron in chief है, उसको conceptualize करने वाले इंसान हैं, और हमारी अमेजिंग टीम को इन द राइट डायरेक्शन नज करने के लिए भी हम इनके ऊपर रिलाई करते हैं. तो बहुत शुक्रिया जवाब साहब आपके टाइम के लिए. और
By the way, Bushra, good news. I just received a communique from TDAP, and they are
wonderful.
asking us the details and everything for our expo in the September as to how they could help us.
This is
They
so
are not
wonderful.
big on the financial part, but I think there is some movement on that side. Just sharing the good news.
एंड दिस इज अ वंडरफुल न्यूज़ जवाब साहब, बिकॉज मैं फिर अब ये बात अनीला और शमीला से भी कहूँगी कि हमारी एक्सपो होने जा रही है इन सितंबर. PWCTA हमारी, दिस इज आवर सेकंड बिगेस्ट एक्सपो, सो वी डू अ सिंगल कंट्री एक्सपो फॉर पाकिस्तान, and we bring in Pakistani based businesses whether here or in Canada, and the whole idea is कि पाकिस्तान से किस तरीके से एक्सपोर्ट बढ़ाई जा सकती है या इन्वेस्टमेंट वहाँ अट्रैक्ट की जा सकती है. So if any of you ladies would like to participate, get in touch with us, and as our partners, we'll find you a spot where you can come and offer your services, and how, and we can talk about कि किस तरीके से उसको हम प्रोजेक्ट कर सकते हैं. And आप question for you, Aneela. I was thinking when Jabasa was talking कि आपको SIFC मॉडल का पता है कि SIFC इंस्टीट्यूशन जो है इस वक्त वो क्या काम कर रही है. और so in a nutshell, SIFC एक इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए एक इन्वेस्टमेंट इंटरनेशनल इन्वेस्टमेंट प्रोटेक्शन के लिए एक बॉडी है, जिसको बनाया गया है, जिसके टॉप ऑफ द लाइन जो पाकिस्तान के टॉप ऑफिसेज हैं, प्राइम मिनिस्टर्स ऑफिस, वो उसको फोरसी करते हैं. जो इन अ नटशेल व्हाट इट डज इज के जो इंटरनेशनल इन्वेस्टमेंट को पाकिस्तान अट्रैक्ट करने के लिए वो ये गारंटीज देते हैं कि उनकी इन्वेस्टमेंट फ्रॉम द टॉप ऑफिसेज ऑफ पाकिस्तान इंक्लूडिंग द चीफ ऑफ आर्मी स्टाफ एंड प्राइम मिनिस्टर्स ऑफिस प्रोटेक्ट की जाएगी. तो मुझे लगता है कि बिकॉज यू आर सिचुएटेड इन अ पोजिशन वेयर यू आर डीलिंग with international clientele, जो आपकी clientele है, they are Canadian / North Americans. So अगर कभी ऐसा मौका आए कि कोई पाकिस्तानी या अमेरिकन या नॉर्थ अमेरिकन, सॉरी नॉन पाकिस्तानी, कोई नॉर्थ अमेरिकन ऐसी कंपनी जो अपना बैक एंड ऑफिस पूरे का पूरा वहाँ शिफ्ट करना चाहते हैं या किसी कंट्री में शिफ्ट करना चाहते हैं, सो आई वुड लव फॉर यू टू लुक इनटू SIFC एंड हाउ हम SIFC के थ्रू उनकी इन्वेस्टमेंट वहाँ लेके जा सकते हैं और उसको सिक्योर कर सकते हैं. From the very body that makes the legislations in Pakistan, हम उनको उनके थ्रू सिक्योर कर सकते हैं, और instead of giving them आप employment और employees के साथ उनको डील कर सकती हैं, you can connect them with the government of Pakistan, and let them have an office that operates and flourishes in Pakistan. So here's some the idea. जंबा साहब, आप इस बारे में कुछ कहना चाहेंगे?
Haji, like I said, the Consulate General is here as a bridge, and whatever project you want to envision in Pakistan, it can be routed to the right quarters through the consulate. We have no issues in forwarding the requirements from here to Pakistan or from Pakistan to here. We are focusing, Bushra has been pivotal in getting the government of Punjab to Western Canada. We are in the process, चल पड़ा है कि हम वो लेबर, trained लेबर को इधर लाएं in form of nursing हो गया, ये electricians हो गए, plumbers हो गए, even beauty technicians is considered a labor as well. So we are working on these things silently, quietly, but aista aista we are exposing the association and the consulate and the opportunities which we are trying to dig out of the Canadian system for Pakistan and from Pakistan to Canada as well. So it's a reciprocal bridge which we are building brick by brick, and everybody and anybody is an important person for us and a player for us. Join us in this noble effort. Both the countries can benefit from each other.
Yeah, very
Um,
well said. Thank you so much. I will keep that in mind, SIFC, and I think a lot of work is already happening of that nature, but maybe not within SIFC. It's outside the boundary because we see offshoring happening. There's a labor market in Pakistan involved in North American projects and everywhere. But how much is it the part of SIFC or is within their scope, that I don't know. But I know that if it's happening, it could very well be done through SIFC platform.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
SIFC is a great initiative, especially for startups like us who are in Pakistan. And it was very difficult for us to actually convince investors to invest in Pakistan and send their money here because they would feel that their money is stuck. But now through this, it's becoming very easy for us and to convince them that their money is safe and they can withdraw remittance whenever they want to. Like,
हाँ बिल्कुल thank you so much. This was a point that I wanted to touch on. Okay, the idea is to attract international investment, and in order to do that, हमारा सबसे बड़ी reservation जो हमें सुनने को मिलती है वो ये होती है कि हमारा पैसा devalue होगा या stuck हो जाएगा या we don't feel secure. तो उसके लिए अब government of Pakistan is doing a lot of work, and one of the main forefront project is the SIFC. चलें आगे बढ़ते हैं, एक दो questions ले लेते हैं. Sana is asking, I don't know who she's asking, but we'll just ask the floor. Is there any preference for female entrepreneurs to set up businesses in Canada? And does the government provide any support from Pakistan or Canada? So from back of my knowledge is, of course, I know the answer, but we'll let it float and let's see who would like to take this question.
Let me answer the government part also. The government support is always there. The government, since I represent and I'm part of the government of Pakistan, this effort of Pakistan Western Canada Trade Association, this building of forum, this synergizing of great leaders and entrepreneurs is a support which we are extending to the Pakistani businesses in Canada, or Pakistani businesses for Canada. As far as the actual issue is concerned, that how we are going to support it, I mean, anybody can approach Pakistan Western Canada Trade Association, to the president, to the secretary general, or any board director, and ask what kind of support they are looking for. And then we can advise them and guide them into coming here, because businesses are usually B2B. It's a private effort, but the support will always be there. That is why the vision which Bushra had and me had was to establish a platform which would be a catalyst between government and the private sector. So we are here. The other part, I believe, Bushra can answer better.
Um, आई थिंक ये आपने बिल्कुल कहा कि जो थियोरेटिकल सपोर्ट है वो है in terms of PWCTA. We're open for business. We're open for anybody who like to take any information or resource, and we can form these connections. So just we're gonna wrap up soon. मैं एक क्वेश्चन है आप दोनों से पूछती हूँ, पहले अनीला से फिर शमीला से. क्वेश्चन ये है कि हमें आप कुछ प्रैक्टिकल इंसाइट, लेट्स डू दिस इन उर्दू, दिस लास्ट पार्ट, कि आपका प्रैक्टिकल इंसाइट क्या होगा फॉर एनीबडी who's a women entrepreneur or any man or women who are thinking of starting a business, um, and who are stuck, who are unsure. आप क्या उनको ये आपका टेक अवे उनके लिए क्या होगा, या उनकी what will be your main advice for somebody like that?
I can take it very briefly. I think जब हम बात करते हैं बिजनेस सेटअप करने की, तो राइट अवे हम सिर्फ मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम स्टार्ट के बारे में सोच रहे होते हैं कि स्टार्ट कैसे करना है इस बिजनेस को. But I think the most important question is the sustainability as well. Do you have the market? If it's a product, who is your buyer's market? If it's a service, just kind of thinking it through based on very common sense. You don't need an extra skill set for that. Just sit down, relax yourself, make a cup of tea, sit down, and just think through it with you being the devil's advocate. And with the technology out there, you can search anything, you can get any information at your hand. Just equip yourself to think differently, be your own devil's advocate, ask questions, and then think about the solidity of that idea. The resources you will always find. Resources की कोई कमी नहीं, and generally I find people are helpful when you genuinely try and ask for help.
True.
So this is more between like yourself and your commitment to this business you're starting in the long term, because the last thing you want is your brand to be tarnished by saying, oh, you started something but you couldn't get it through. I think anything is possible with, God's help and your determination. But
Tenacity.
do, and it's more of a spiritual answer, but I think that that's the piece that sometimes you miss.
No, that's I agree with you 100% that if you stay tenacious and you have a plan, I think things do work out. अनिला आपके लिए सवाल है आपने मेंशन किया कि पाकिस्तान से जो रेज्यूमेज आते हैं वो हिट एंड मिस होते हैं और वो तो रेज्यूमेज और पोर्टफोलियोज के ऊपर अगर बात हो तो आप क्या उसको ऑप्टिमाइज करने के लिए व्हाट विल बी योर एडवाइस to all these young women, young boys and listening to who want to work in tech, उनके लिए आपकी क्या एडवाइस है?
Sure, this is a very, very good question. I'll try to answer this, but I think the shortest possible answer of this one is take a critical look at your resume. Instead of describing your role and responsibility, try to describe what was the problem, what was your contribution in solving it, and what was the result of it. It's called kind of a specific star approach. Just saying that I did project management for 5 years at a big enterprise corporation doesn't cut it. While you were there, what were some of the challenges? And be as concise as possible. Give them ideas about what budget you handled, how much bigger the team was, and at the end, what happened to it? Did you launch it successfully? And what was the measure of success? Did you reduce the time it took earlier, or did you, do anything that is measurable? Most of the time, it is the cost you saving or time efficiency and all that. If you try this approach to every single piece of work experience that you have there, the employer usually has less than a minute to go over your resume. If they find something catchy, and it's true, if they find something catchy, only then it's going to stick to them to call you for the interview and take it to the next level. And while you're not there, your resume is your representation. So spend time on it and just think it through. Maybe take a week to just take the final version out to clients.
This is very wonderful. I don't know the last time I looked at my resume, but अब मेरा दिल कर रहा है कि मैं जाके देखूं मेरे क्या resume में से क्या बात थी. तो this is very good. Um, I wanna take a question from you, Shameela, before we give our final, wrap up statements. आप ये बताएं कि अगेन सेम क्वेश्चन कि क्या प्रैक्टिकल इंसाइट जो वुमेन पाकिस्तान में है और वो इकोनॉमी में अपना शेयर डालना चाहती हैं 52% आपकी आबादी ख़वातीन है तो आप उनको एम्पावर किए बगैर फाइनेंशियली एम्पावर किए बगैर आप मुल्क की इकोनॉमी नहीं ठीक कर सकते सो आप उनको क्या एडवाइस करेंगी और आपके एक्शनेबल स्ट्रेटजीज क्या उनको एडवाइस करना चाहेंगी तो प्लीज़ ज़रा बताइए.
So, Bushra, one thing that I'd like to tell everybody over here is कि पाकिस्तान के अंदर ख़वातीन बहुत काम करती हैं, ठीक है, but unfortunately it's not being documented. ठीक है, so ज़्यादातर जितनी whether a woman is a housewife or it doesn't really matter which socio-economic background she belongs to, वो कोई ना कोई काम कर रही है. आपकी जो डोमेस्टिक हेल्प है, ठीक है, वो भी काम कर रही है, but it's just not being documented, and which is very sad. So as a nation, the policy should be कि हम हर किसी को document करना शुरू करें, and it will actually impact our GDP.
बिल्कुल
आप अब गो टू द रूरल एरिया, आपके खेतों के अंदर सारी खवातीन काम कर रही हैं, ठीक है ना, जिनको दे आर अर्निंग एज वेल, बट इट्स we have no idea कि क्या है, कितना है, कितना नहीं है. अब coming back to your main question कि what would I advise? So anything that we do, whether you're a woman or a man, if you have an idea, okay, don't sleep over the idea. You have to execute, because ideas can only come to realities if you execute. And as Aneela was saying, okay, like please plan it out, write it down, write your idea down, hash it out, और उसके बाद आप उसके jump, you have to take the first leap of faith कि अच्छा आई कैन डू इट. बिकॉज अगर आप नहीं करोगे तो आप एक फेयर के अंदर रहोगे कि व्हाट इफ दिस गोज रॉन्ग, थिंग्स आर गोइंग टू गो रॉन्ग. ये हो ही नहीं सकता कि कुछ गलत हो ही ना. But when you take that leap of faith and you will face the problems, an entrepreneur is a problem solver. So every time you face a problem, you have to pivot, come up with a solution till you find the perfect model. Okay, yes, this is how it's going to work, and this is how I can take it forward. The other thing that they have to ask is what kind of business do they want? Do they want to stay a micro entrepreneur? Do they want to stay as SME or grow and become a billion company? So whatever their dream is, or whatever their goal is, they have to राइट डाउन दैट गोल और फिर उसको रिवर्स इंजीनियर करके अपनी छोटी माइलस्टोन्स बना के स्टार्ट अचीविंग दोज माइलस्टोन्स टिल यू ईच रीच योर एंड गोल. सो बट यू हैव टू टेक दैट लीप ऑफ फेथ. दैट्स द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग.
अच्छा, जो आपने कहा कि आइडिया है तो उसको डिसमिस ना करें. आइडियाज तो इंसान को दिन में 10 आते हैं. So how would you say which idea to pick, and how would you know कि ये आइडिया था, इस पे मुझे अब बैठ के काम करना है?
जब आप लिखना शुरू करते हो ना, कोई भी आइडिया आता है. बिफोर स्टार्टिंग घर पर आई वुड हैव लाइक थाउजेंड्स ऑफ आइडियाज डेली. आई वुड राइट देम डाउन एंड व्हेन जब मैं उसके ऊपर काम करना शुरू करती थी तो इतने व्हाइल राइटिंग द
फिल्टर हो जाता
बिजनेस प्लान, ठीक है ना, तो यू वुड से कि अच्छा नहीं, दिस डजंट वर्क. एंड व्हेन यू हैव द राइट आइडिया, ठीक है ना, तो इट्स नॉट कि मैं उन आइडियाज को ट्राई नहीं करती थी, मैं ट्राई जरूर करती थी कि अच्छा इसमें क्या प्रॉब्लम्स आ रही हैं. छोटे छोटे लाइक I would try those out कि अच्छा हाँ, is this working, is this not working, and this and that. And when I had this GharPar ka idea, it's not only my idea. Because we collectively had this idea and we collectively worked on it and ironed out all the wrinkles. So when things start moving in the right direction, you know that that idea is worth it. And so yes, but you have to try. Like no matter how small or how big that idea is, if you're solving a problem, so it's worth trying.
That is wonderful. Shameela, would you like to give a closing statement before we take one from Aneela?
I think this was my closing statement as well. That be like you need a lot of perseverance, resilience, and if you want to become an entrepreneur, तो रातों की नींद आपकी बिल्कुल खत्म हो जाएगी. You have to give in, especially in the early years. You have to give in your 200% because it's like giving a birth to a child.
Bilkul.
So it is your baby. You have to put in a lot of effort for it to grow and be into the child or the company that you want it to be.
It's a wonderful advice. Aneela, can you give us your closing statement and just it's the essence of this whole session? What is it like for you?
I think it was a great session for me. Networking, I think, is the key, and as they say, your net worth is your network. So जब हम बात करते हैं किसी भी चीज़ की, genuinely लोगों के साथ interact करते हैं, we get a lot of learning. This is called peer learning. एक learning है कि आप जाकर Google में जाके search करो और आपको वो मिल जाए जवाब. दूसरा search होता है कि practically जो लोग situation से गुजर चुके होते हैं, get their feedback. And the other thing जिसने मुझे help किया regardless of the situation is empathy. And I talk a lot about it. Many people just think this is like an emotional thing, but I think it's in behavior. Being able to put yourself in other person's shoes and think and then cultivate your response is a big skill. जहाँ पे भी आप जाएं, आपको हमेशा अपनी बात ठीक लगती है. You think, you know, what you're thinking, it's right. But the perspective that other person is holding, you might not be holding it. And you need to spend some time to understand that perspective. And the more you do that, the more you grow yourself, because it's about your own brand as well. So there is a company brand for me, and then there's my brand as well, which I need to make, you know, strong and work on it. So जब आप ये चीजें छोटी छोटी करते हो ना, तो ऑटोमेटिकली आप फील करते हो कि you are evolving. आपको पता भी नहीं चलता, because you're going for excellence and then success will follow. That's my principle, and it's a simple thing, but I think it just takes time to work on it.
I agree. I think in a nutshell, you're talking about integrity. कि एक तो आपकी company की integrity, एक आपकी अपनी भी है, and you honor the word and honor the whatever the promise has been made. These are wonderful closing statements. I would personally like to thank both of you for being here. मुझे लगता है कि कोई भी इंसान जो अपना वक्त दे रहा है वो अपनी सबसे कीमती चीज दे रहा है. तो आपकी insights के लिए, आपके वक्त के लिए, we are now connected, so we will be contacting you guys with all the questions that will come our way, क्योंकि ये recording में चलेगा कुछ हफ्ते तक, और बहुत से लोग हमें contact करेंगे कि अनीला से ये पूछ दें, Shameela, can you ask Shameela this? So and inshallah we will be putting your websites there, and this will be very fruitful on both ends. So बहुत शुक्रिया आपके वक्त का, आपके insights का, आपके knowledge का. और मैं दो लोगों का और शुक्रिया करना चाहती हूँ. जमा साहब of course was here. I thanked him. Rabia Dastagir, who's a general secretary and who's obviously the main person behind all this. मैं सिर्फ end में आके शक्ल दिखा के बोल के चली जाती हूँ. सारा काम जो है राबिया और मीर कर रहे हैं, और उनका बहुत शुक्रिया. मीर अनवर साहब और राबिया दस्तगीर are two of our board members, as well as my right and left hand, and they're basically just driving force of this association. बहुत शुक्रिया सबका. Thank you so much who tuned in, and thank you so much for everybody who will be listening to watching the recording. Once again, PWCTA is here to host such seminars to bring in women like Aneela and women like Shameela, who are assets to the world. I would say not just Pakistan, but the world. And they're adding in not only something for the economies, but through their advice and through their integrity, they're adding in a lot of goodwill into everybody's social lives. So once again, on this note, I bid you guys a wonderful night, and I know it's quite late there, so have a good night, and thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having us over.
Thank you.
Same.
Thank you.